Welcome back to yet another section of Ways with Words. Today we are going to start the fifth poem, All Facts Laugh, written by Maya Angelou. Have you heard about Maya Angelou? Who was Maya Angelou? Maya Angelou was an American author, actress, screenwriter, dancer, poet, and civil rights activist, best known for her 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which made literary history as the first non-fiction bestseller by an African American woman. Angelou received several honors throughout the career, including 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work category in 2005 and 2009. Maya Angelou, she was an American author, actress, screenwriter, poet, and civil rights activist. At the same time, she also is the best known for her 1969 memoir. So she already proved her talent in each and every field as a writer, author, screenwriter, dancer, poet, civil rights activist. In addition that, she became very famous through her memoir. Its name is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It is her autobiography. She already wrote so many autobiographical works. It is one of the famous autobiographical works. It was published in 1969. Through this work, she got the worldwide recognition. Angelou also received several honors throughout her career, including 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work. Actually, this work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, treat as a non-fiction. Then I want to speak about her early life. Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri. Angelou had a difficult childhood. Her parents split up when she was very young, and she and her older brother Bailey were sent to live with their father's mother, Ann Henderson, in Stamps, Arkansas. Maya Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 in St. Louis in Missouri. About her childhood, actually it was very miserable, unhappy. Her parents divorced when she was very young. So, Maya Angelou started to spend her childhood with her grandmother, Ann Henderson. Ann Henderson was her father's mother. She started to live with her grandmother in Arkansas with her brother Bailey. As an African American, Angelou experienced first-hand racial prejudices and discrimination in Arkansas. She also suffered at the hands of a family associate around the age of 7. During a visit with her mother, Angelou was raped by her mother's boyfriend. As vengeance for the sexual assault, Angelou's uncle killed the boyfriend. So, traumatized by the experience, Angelou stopped talking. She returned to Arkansas and spent years as a virtual mute. When I told you her childhood was not at all happy, she was very sad. Even her parents divorced in her tender age. So she started to live with her grandmother Anne Henderson. She had her brother Bailey. Even that period, she also experienced the racial prejudices and discrimination. It also affected her very badly. After that, when she was just 7 years old, she was raped by her mother's friend. When her uncle knew this, he killed that boyfriend. When Maya Angelou heard the news of the death of that person, her mother's friend, she became silent for years. She didn't speak to anyone. Those period, she started to read a lot of books. Relating that experience, she wrote one of her famous autobiographical works, that it is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It was published in 1969. Then I want to speak about her education. During World War II, Angelou moved to San Francisco, California. There she won a scholarship to study dance and acting at the California Labor School. Also during this time, Angelou became the first black female cable car conductor, a job she held only briefly in San Francisco. So we can see that during World War II, she won a scholarship. That's why she got the opportunity to study dance and acting at the California Labor School. During this period, we can see that she became the first black female cable car conductor. She started to work and study at the same time. She held that position only for a short period. Okay. Then I want to speak about her acting and singing career. In the mid 1950s, Angelou's career as a performer began to take off. She landed a role in a touring production of Porgy and Bess, later appearing in the off-Broadway production Calypso Heat Wave in 1957 and releasing her first album Miss Calypso in 1957. So we can see that her acting and singing career she started in the mid 1950s. She landed that touring production is Porgy and Bess. Then she started to appear in the Broadway production. The production is Calypso Heat Wave. It happened in 1957. Her first album was Miss Calypso. It was published in 1957. A member of the Harlem Writers Guild and civil rights activist, Angelou organized and starred in the musical revue Cabaret for Freedom as a benefit for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, also serving as the SCLC's Northern Coordinator. In 1961, Angelou appeared in an off-Broadway production of Jean Genet's The Blacks with James Earl Jones, Lou Gossett Jr. and Cicely Tyson. Angelou went on to earn a Tony Award nomination for her role in the play Look Away. The play happened in 1973, and an Emmy Award nomination for her work on the television miniseries Roots in 1977, among other honors. So these are very important honors relating Maya Angelou. Then I want to speak about how Maya Angelou spent the time in Africa. Angelou spent much of the 1960s abroad. living first in Egypt and then in Ghana, working as an editor and freelance writer. Angelo also held a position at the University of Ghana for a time. In 1960s, she spent the time abroad. She living at first in Egypt. After that, she started to live in Ghana. Then she started to work as an editor and a freelance writer. She proved her ability as an editor and also freelance writer there. At the same time, she also held a position at the University of Ghana for a time. In Ghana, she also joined a community of revolutionist returnees, exploring Pan-Africanism, and became close with the human rights activist and black nationalist leader Malcolm X. In 1964, upon returning to the United States, Angelo helped Malcolm X set up the Organization of Afro-American Unity, which disbanded after his assassination the following year. Then I told you she worked as an editor, freelance writer. In additional data, she also held a position in the University of Ghana. After that, she joined the community of revolutionist returnees. It is an exploring Pan-Africanism. Through that community, she became very close to the human rights activist and black nationalist leader Malcolm X. She helped Malcolm to start the Organization of Afro-American Unity. Then we are going to speak about Maya Angelou's poems. Angelo published several collections of poetry, but her most famous was 1971's collection, Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water for I Die, which was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize. About her poetry, we can say that Maya Angelou wrote so many poems. In that, very famous poem is Just Give Me a Cool Drink of Water for I Die. It was published in 1971. In additional data, this particular poem was nominated for the Pulitzer Prize. Other famous collections of Angelou's poetry include Oh Pray, My Wings Are Gonna Fit Me Well. It was published in 1975, which includes Angelou's poem Alone. And Still I Rise. It was published in 1978, which features the beloved poem Phenomenal Woman. Shaker, Why Don't You Sing? This poem is published in 1983. I Shall Not Be Moved, published in 1990. This poem is featuring the poem Human Family. Apple famously used a video of Angelou reading this poem in an advertisement at the 2016 Olympics. There is another speciality of this poem. We can see that a famous Apple used this video of Angelou reading this particular poem. It is an advertisement at the 2016 Olympics. The next poem is Even the Stars Look Lonesome. This poem is published in 1997. Then I want to speak about one of her famous poems, that is On the Pulse of Morning. It was published in 1993. One of her most famous works. Angelou wrote this poem especially for and recited at President Bill Clinton's inaugural ceremony in January 1993. The occasion marked the first inaugural recitation since 1961, when Robert Frost delivered this poem, The Gift, outright at John F. Kennedy's inauguration. So I think all of you understood this. There is a speciality for this poem, On the Pulse of Morning. Actually, Angelo wrote this poem especially for and recited this particular poem at President Bill Clinton's inaugural ceremony in January 1993. I think all of you are very familiar with Bill Clinton. He was former American president. We can also see that very famous poet Robert Frost, he also delivered his poem The Gift outright at John F. Kennedy's inaugural. So you don't forget that Maya Angelou wrote and recited poem On the Pulse of Morning at President Bill Clinton's inaugural ceremony in January 1993. Angelou went to win a Grammy Award for the Best Spoken Word Album for the audio version of this poem. That is the another speciality of this work. She got the Grammy Award for this poem On the Pulse of Morning. So I think all of you got the idea clearly. She wrote and recited this particular poem at President Bill Clinton's inaugural ceremony, and this particular poem won Grammy Award. Then I want to speak about her other well-known poems. His Day is Done. This poem is published in 1962. This poem is a tribute poem Angelou wrote for Nelson Mandela as he made his secret journey from Africa to London. The speciality of this poem, His Day is Done. Maya Angelou wrote this poem for very famous African leader Nelson Mandela as he made his secret journey from Africa to London. The next poem is Amazing Peace. It was published in 2005, written by Angelou for the White House tree lighting ceremony. There is a special reason to write this particular poem, Amazing Peace. This poem is published in 2005. Maya Angelou wrote this poem for the White House tree lighting ceremony. Then I want to speak about one of her very famous autobiographical works, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It was published in 1969. Friend and fellow writer James Baldwin urged Angelou to write about her life experiences. The resulting work was the enormously successful 1969 memoir about her childhood and young adult years, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. The poignant story made literary history as the first non-fiction bestseller by an African American woman. The book, which made Angelou an international star, continues to be regarded as her most popular autobiographical work. In 1995, Angelou was lauded for remaining on the New York Times paperback nonfiction bestseller list for 2 years, the longest running record in the charts history. So it is very important. It is Maya Angelou's very famous autobiographical work, I Know Why the Caged Bird since. Her friend and fellow writer James Baldwin requested her to write about her childhood experiences. That's why Maya Angelou wrote this poem, and it was a great success. It got a worldwide attention. Through this work, she became the first non-fiction bestseller by an African American woman. It also made Angelou as an international star. So through this most popular autobiographical work, she became an international star. We can see that in 1995, she was lauded for remaining on the New York Times paper back non-fiction bestseller list for 2 years. Actually, it is the longest running record in the charts history. So you can identify the popularity of her autobiographical work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Then I want to speak about her another important autobiography, Gathered Together in My Name. It was published in 1974. Angelou's follow-up to A Caged Bird. This memoir covers her life as an unemployed teenage mother in California when she returned to narcotics and prostitution. Through this work, she shares her experience as an unemployed teenage mother in California, how she turned to narcotics and prostitution. Then the next work, Singing and Swinging and Getting Merry Like Christmas. This work was published in 1976. Angelou wrote this autobiography about her early career as a singer and actress. While we are going through this particular work, we will get a clear picture about her life as a singer and actress. The next work is The Heart of a Woman. It was published in 1981. Angelou crafted this memoir about leaving California with her son for New York when she took part in the civil rights movement. Through this work, she shares her experiences about how she left California with her son for New York. She also shares the details of civil rights movement through this particular work. The next work is All Girls Children Need Traveling Shoes. It was published in 1986. It is a lyrical exploration about what it means to be an African American in Africa. This autobiographical book covers the years Angelou spent living in Ghana. We already spoke about it in detail, how Angelou lived in Ghana. Through this particular poem, we will get the idea about her life in Ghana. Next work is Wouldn't Take Nothing for My Journey Now. It was published in 1994. This inspirational essay collection features Angelou's insights about spirituality and living well. So through this particular work, we will get the idea about her spirituality and how she lived well. The next work is A Song Flung Up to Heaven. It was published in 2002. Another autobiographical work, A Song Flung Up to Heaven, explores Angelou's return from Africa to the US and her ensuing struggle to cope with the devastating assassinations of two human rights leaders with whom she worked. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. The book ends when, at the encouragement of her friend Baldwin, Angelo began work on I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. This work, A Song Flung Up to Heaven, she shares her experiences with the human rights leaders Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. This book ends with how she is interested to write about her childhood experiences by the encouragement of her friend Baldwin. Next work is Letter to My Daughter. It was published in 2008. Dedicated to the daughter Angelo never had, this book of essays features Angelo's advice for young women about living a life of meaning. Actually, Maya Angelou didn't have a biological daughter. She had only a son. She wrote this particular work to give an advice for young women about living a life of meaning. Next work I want to speak about Mom and Me and Mom. It was published in 2013. Through this memoir, Angelo discusses her complicated relationship with a mother who abandoned her during childhood. When we go through this particular work, we will get the clear idea about how she spent her life with her mother. We already understood her parents divorced when she was very young. Then I want to speak about her cookbooks. Interested in health, Angelo published cookbooks include The Welcome Table, A Lifetime of Memories with Recipes, and Great Food All Day Long. She was very much interested in health. That's why she also wrote about health relating the works are The Welcome Table, A Lifetime of Memories with Recipes. Next work is Great Food All Day Long. Then I want to speak about Maya Angelou as a screenplay author and director. After publishing Caged Bird, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Angelo broke new ground artistically, educationally and socially with her drama Georgia, Georgia in 1972, which made her the first American woman to have her screenplay produced. After her very famous work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, artistically, educationally and socially, she started the drama. You don't forget the drama. Its name is Georgia, Georgia. It was happened in 1972. Through that, she became the first African American woman to have her screenplay produced. In 1998, seeking new creative challenges, Angelo made her directorial debut with Down in the Delta, starring Alfred. Then I want to speak about her famous friends. I think all of you remembered well who are her famous friends. Martin Luther King Jr., close friend of Angelou's, was assassinated on her birthday, April 4 in 1968. Angelo stopped celebrating her birthday for years afterward and sent flowers to King's widow, Coretta Scott King, for more than 30 years until Coretta's death in 2006. From that, you can easily understand she had a close relationship with Martin Luther King Jr. Angelo was also good friends with TV personality Oprah Winfrey, who organized several birthday celebrations for the award-winning author, including a week-long cruise for her 70th birthday in 1998. So you don't forget the name Oprah Winfrey. Then I want to speak about Maya Angelou's son and husbands. In 1944, a 16-year-old Angelou gave birth to a son, Guy. A short-lived high school relationship led to the pregnancy. Then after giving birth, she worked a number of jobs to support herself and her child. I think all of you remembered well all her experiences she shared with one of her autobiographical works. A poet himself, Angelou's son, now goes by the name Guy Johnson. In 1952, Angelou wed Anastasios Angelopoulos, a Greek sailor from whom she took her professional name, a blend of her childhood nickname Maya and a shortened version of his surname. The couple later divorced. Notoriously secretive about her marriages, Angelou was likely married at least 3 times, including in 1973 to a carpenter, Paul Dufeu. Then I want to speak about Maya Angelou's death. After experiencing health issues for a number of years, Angelou died on May 28, 2014 at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The news of her passing spread quickly, with many people taking to social media to mourn and remember Angelou. Singer Mary J. Blige and politician Cory Booker were among those who tweeted their favorite quotes by her in tribute. President Barack Obama also issued a statement about Angelou, calling her a brilliant writer, a fierce friend, a truly phenomenal woman. Angelou had the ability to remind us that we all are God's children, that we all have something to offer, he wrote. So all of you please open the textbook, page number 34. So I think all of you are ready with your textbook, page number 34. Maya Angelou was born on April 4, 1928 as Margaret Ann Johnson in St. Louis, Missouri, America. She has a career that spans a wide range of professions as an author, poet, historian, civil rights activist, producer, director, singer and dancer. She has written 7 autobiographies and several volumes of poetry. Actually, we already talked about her poetry and autobiographical works in detail. 2 of her most loved poems are Phenomenal Women and Still I Rise. These poems depict an image of a universal woman who is a paragon of strength and pride. These 2 works are very important. Actually, I haven't spoken about these 2 works earlier. So note it, Phenomenal Women and Still I Rise. Angelou was strongly attracted to the notion of rising, and hence the word rise is repeated 10 times in the later poem. The poem is Still I Rise. In that poem she used the word rise in 10 times. She was the first black woman poet to read her poem. I think all of you remember well the poem On the Pulse of Morning at the inauguration of President Bill Clinton in 1993, which intensified her popularity. Before her, the only other American poet who had read an inaugural poem was Robert Frost at the swearing-in ceremony of John F. Kennedy. Angelo's most famous autobiography. I think if you remembered well the autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It was published in 1969. Describes a shattering moment in her life. When she was just 7 years old, she was raped by her mother's friend. Shocked to hear that the rapist was murdered, the young girl held herself responsible for the death, feeling guilty. She refused to speak for 5 years. During this period of silence, she read all the classics and black writings available in the library. I already shared this information with you earlier. After the death of that person, she became silent for 5 years, and this period she spent to read especially the classics and black writings. As a civil rights activist, Angelo worked with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, who inspired her greatly. On the Pulse of Morning is a poem that echoes Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous I Have a Dream speech. We didn't speak about this point earlier, so listen me carefully. Actually, we spoke in detail about Maya Angelou's very famous poem on the Pulse of the Morning. Then I also talked in detail about the relationship with Maya Angelou and Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King's very famous speech, I Have a Dream. She was highly influenced by that speech. So we can see that the reflection of that speech throughout her very famous poem, Pulse of the Morning. Okay. Most of Angelou's works discuss themes such as identity, family, racism and gender, and many of these works have been prescribed in schools and universities internationally. It is very important you should have a clear knowledge about her themes. She spoke about identity, family, racism and gender. These are her very famous themes. She started to speak about all these themes. Reviewer L.C.B. Washington has called her the Black Woman's Poet Laureate and Angelou's poetry as the anthems of African Americans. It is also very important. She was called as the Black Woman's Poet Laureate. Her poetry is also known as the anthems of African Americans. Speech, writing and songs were interwoven disciplines for her. She could hold an audience spellbound with her sharp wit and humor and vibrant poetry. Many of her statements have become quotable quotes. She was a very amazing person. She had the ability to make a magic bound with her sharp wit and humor. About her poetry, there is no doubt it is a very vibrant poetry she wrote. Some of her quotes are very famous. Example already given here in your textbook. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't change it, change your attitude. The truth is none of us can be free until everybody is free. These are her very famous quotes. Then I want to speak about her achievements and honors. Maya Angelou was nominated for the National Booker Award in 1970s and for the Pulitzer Prize in 1971. She has also received innumerable awards and honors and over 30 honorary degrees. She firmly believed that the honorary duty of a human being is to love. The literary voice revered globally for her poetic comment and her commitment to civil rights, fell silent on 9 June 2014. She was also nominated for the National Booker Award in 1970 and also for the Pulitzer Prize in 1971. More than that, she received innumerable awards and honors, over 30 honorary degrees. She strongly believed that honorary duty of a human being is to love others. The literary voice revered globally of her poetic comment, and she passed away from this world on 9 June 2014. I think this is enough for today's class. So the next class we will start the poem of Maya Angelou, Old Folks Laugh. Thank you.